welcome everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. I hope it will take 1 hour. It's planned. I hope it will add it will satisfy your interest, your the reason you joined. The main, as we already briefly introduced, this webinar is about two companies which befriended some while ago, and we collaborate ever since. We enjoy the benefits of whatever we offer to each other. Together we are there. This is the case when definitely together we are strong. And the customers who are running Network Optix, huge number of them are. It's all about integration. It's all about additional features that you might want to have on your plate. And similarly, we enjoy as a company who provides the analytics. We are providing the analytics provided by some hardware, some networks, and we enjoy the fact whenever, as I said previously, whenever we hear that the customer is running Network Optix, we're like, yes. Because it simplifies the integration, it simplifies the whole thing is very well known. And even if there is a small thing which is not there and yet to be developed, we know exactly what it takes, what steps to take, and how long will it take, what effort. So it's very well thought system. But you will hear now is the following. We divided the whole session in some sections. First, I will go ahead and introduce Scylla, and for those of you especially who just new in the subject, heard about Scylla first time. But the main accent will be on the update. As we already said, this is like kind of a webinar which repeats every several months, because both of us develop new features, new offerings, and we update our auditory. And so there will be Scylla, the updates, then there will be Network Optix, possibly the updates, and then we will briefly show you in the demo how it runs, how it works, with the accents on what has been changed ever since the last time. And then there will be also a sneak peek, a surprise thingy from Network Optix. At the end, we will have question and answer section. All right. So with this, Let me go forward. I will, as most of you probably know, Jason and Andy, and as for me, I am Ara Ghazaryan, technical co-founder and VP of AI in Scylla. AI. It's everywhere now. It's not just a trendy word. Sometimes it is an hype and everything. But for when you're talking to technical companies like us, we know exactly the capabilities and the limitations of it. And what AI provides, it is augmentation of almost everything, of the resources. It's of human capabilities. It eliminates human factor errors, etc., etc. So there will be some examples of what AI can do. In our particular case, in case of Scylla, we're focused on a particular side of it, a particular section, which has to do with computer vision. Basically, we teach the computer, the device, to recognize what it sees in the video feed. And as for Scylla, well, there's some updates for you. The numbers are billions actually. It's a huge market especially in Asia Pacific. It grows rapidly. Will be 3 times more by 2027. So it's a huge market. And I think, guys, you are in this market. Products that we are offering, they started from gun detection. That's our flagman. It's object detection. It's an example of very precisely and accurately working object detection. Then there was thermal screening for COVID years. There's intrusion detection solution, also again based on object detection. We also provide some solutions which are detecting and analyzing the actions. So anomaly detection, behavior recognition, and there we detect actions like fight, even slip and fall, for example, even subtle and very tricky actions like, well, we call it suspicious shopping behavior. Read it as a shoplifting attempt. So basically, even the action like someone put something in a bag, we can detect that. Smoke and fire detection, again, based on the action, because some providers try to do it on object detection. So there you see a smoke, you alert, but not always something that looks like a smoke. There's a cloud. Many of them look like smoke. But what we are doing, and as what human vision does, what human does, we look at how the smoke develops, and that's exactly what Scylla solution does. So again, action detection. And we also not only detect objects, we also track them. And the example of it will be shortly, I will show shortly. Another solution is person search based on appearance. Read about like, well, based on general appearance, not just face biometrics, but clothing and shapes and patterns. Face recognition, very accurately working. And with this one, I must say, if you are not satisfied with whatever you are using, feel free to test one-to-one. We love these tests. With existing providers, you have a commercial solution, just give Scylla a try, put one-to-one, and you will see the results of the basically accuracy will win the deal. Drone security. Whatever we do, the analytics, most of them are background invariant. So they don't care about moving backgrounds, and most of them can be applied on drone. And we do have some solutions that can apply to the feed from the drone, and they are optimized for that. So we focus on a very distant, very tiny objects. This algorithm, which is patented, we call it an eagle eye. It works similarly as a soaring bird, focuses on a prey. Similarly, the AI that we utilize is focusing on particular section and utilizes the full high resolution cameras which are usually provided with the drone. And the false alarm filtering, it's something very relevant to the integration with Network Optix. This was the first product that we integrated. False alarm filtering. There are alarms that are coming based on motion detection or another rule-based criteria. And what Scylla does, it uses the artificial intelligence to filter the falses and minimize the human fatigue and annoyance, etc., etc. These 5 are relevantly new approaches, new subjects, and I will briefly go over these guys in coming slides. First of all, well, following the trends, following the general logic, the way all the analytics and all IT section goes, and the future of it, there are 2 main directions. One will be the edge, when the analysis is done on the edge device, and to minimize well, there are many benefits. I can talk about the edge deployments for half an hour or more. So I will talk about it when things go. We do have, basically, Scylla does have our own device, edge device, which comes preloaded with analytics. You just plug to the camera, and there you go. You don't need the server, or you don't need to send your traffic to the cloud. That's one thing. Traffic flow analysis. As I said, we detect the objects, we track them. So based on that, we can detect people around some area, the venue or whatever, and we can do analytics on top of it. We'll show what type of analytics. Abandoned object detection. Well, think about it not only from well, it's a backpack thrown here, but it's not only about abandoned backpacks or, well, sometimes terror attacks or something related to that, but also, for example, litter detection. When a human being comes and leaves something and goes away, you can detect it instantly and maybe take actions, or to the minimum, well, go in and have a personal clean that and repair. This type of a solution can be used in many areas. Now we'll talk about it very quickly. Lithium battery overheating. This one is based on thermal cameras. Yeah, thermal cameras can do a lot of stuff themselves, but when you apply to AI on top of this analytics, you gain a lot of benefits, and not only higher accuracy, less false positives, but also another additional features. For example, okay, let me know when there's an overheating, but if it's a car, it's all right. Don't alarm me when there's a car in the view, because, well, car parts get hot, etc. This is just a basic example. And the last one, it faces a ticket. It's a derivative of face recognition analytics, but it says what the title says. You can use your face to register for some kind of an activity to enter a venue, and then you just go and enter. You don't show anything, and etc. Your face is the ticket to enter. Okay. So again, very briefly, I'll go over the solutions. For the traffic flow analysis, security is a key, and it can be, the traffic flow analysis can be used also for security reasons. Like, for example, it can detect loitering, it can detect trespassing to some areas. It was, to be honest, it was developed related to COVID regulations when there was maximum of number of people in some buildings, and we started to develop it as an occupancy counting solution. Then we grow it to something much more. And what it can do, it can collect data related to people movement, where people move, the heat maps, smart heat maps. It can show the movement patterns by the arrows, etc. It can count relative number of people in areas. It can alert in different cases. For example, it can alert when there's an overcrowding. It can alert, as I said, when there is a loitering. And it can generally tell you the distribution of people in specific areas. For example, in queues at the cashier desk, for example, if there's more than this number of people, or if a person is waiting more than 1 minute, let me know. I will send an additional cashier there, and then they will take care of the customer in a speedy way. And more than that, it provides you data, statistics over some huge period of time. You gather a very important thing, maybe the most important, the data. And then this data can allow you to predict stuff, like do analysis on top of that. To understand rush hours is the minimum that you can do, like and then address them. You know the attendance times, where people buy mostly, etc., etc. You can do this analysis, or you can as well analyze the performance of your employees, like compare this guy, etc. So a lot of things can be done in traffic flow analysis. As an example, very quick example, this is just in one of our offices, some few hours of running data, people passing, the whole thing is being recorded in terms of the data. Again, you can get instant alerts on loitering, on overcrowding. You can have statistical summary on different zones and different smart heat maps. Smart means that you can specify, I want this range to this range of time, this time range of this area, and you can have this separate. Okay? And full historical data can be exported in one of the formats that you can utilize later for additional information analysis on top of it. Okay. So yeah, and abandoned object detection, as I said, hot topic. especially in areas where a lot of crowd and security related to that. Not only, as I said, related to security, but also loitering detection. We do have right now a few projects going on, a few customers who are interested in specifically loitering detection aspect of it. Some of them are, let's say, more just to eliminate the effect. The others are to detect who exactly is doing that and, you know, find them, etc. So again, very short and simple. It's a book, so it was not thrown. With the respect, it was put on the ground. And any object after a person is living immediately can be detected, and it's considered as an as an abandoned object. So this can be utilized, as I said, in a number of ways. One of them is airplane runway debris detection. So not only human, but also if a car came and passed, you can detect anything that was thrown out or left behind, etc. So a lot of things can be applied here. Even use cases such as there was this use case where people would want to detect if there is a banknote on the table. So someone put a banknote on the table. So the camera on the top can detect such a case. Lithium battery overheating. This is a particularly interesting area. It's for the certainty, it's called lithium battery overheating, but it can be applied on a number of cases, on electrical transfer majors and on general workspace areas. And yes, it utilizes thermal cameras. We work with several brands, and we can provide the list with of the cameras this solution works with. And this particular one is used exactly to detect overheating in lithium-ion batteries. And not only the fact that it already is too hot, but also the trend. Detects the trend when it gets hot, and then we can alert, and some actions can be taken. And this is a different story actually. Cloud-based solutions. Most of our solutions at the moment, and soon all of our solutions will be available on the cloud. And that's another trend. One of them, as I said, is bringing everything to the edge. The other one is also providing the cloud-based analytics. And this is it's a common sense thing. Fellow customer not always have a desire to buy a server. Even if it's a server, then you need a server room, all this hassle, etc. Many people want it plug and play. Plug and play means, we still need some hardware to do the analytics on. So either it's an edge device they have to buy and plug and play, or if they don't want to buy anything upfront, that's a cloud-based solution. And we moved most of our solutions now to the cloud. And they are available not only for short-term demos and POCs, but also in the long run as a production architecture. And this is some general information for those of you. Probably you all guys know the trends, the interest of us also especially in APAC region. And this information also keeps us motivated to invest more and more time and efforts across the globe. This is something for you maybe consider. And as for the other part, the edge monitoring solution, that will be this box which we show here. Right now, there are, I think, 5 solutions running on that. Soon, again, most of them will be. It's a difference. The difference is the amount of cameras this box can support. There are different sizes of the boxes, S, L, M, of course, differently priced. And the solutions are, again, you don't see a difference between the solution running on a server and the solution running on this box. The only difference is that you still need a monitor to connect either to the box, or you can see the alerts on your mobile or the alerts on your any of the computer which is in the net. Okay. And for example, this one, we call it an 8-channel NVR support, but basically what it means, it can read a camera. It's not an NVR, be misled. It can read from 8-channel NVR, so it can consume 8 channels, 8 cameras, and do analytics on 8 cameras simultaneously. And the facial recognition is the last one. As I said, this face as a ticket. I will show you how exactly it works, or at least showcase it. As we speak, we have some activity with a few thousand people attending this venue. And right now they are, some of them at least, use Face as a Ticket app that we provided to register for the venue and to enter. It's not only for ticketing, but also it's a kind of a way to have additional analytics and information. If people are registering, they're entering their data, and then you can have, on top of that, you can have analytics. Who came, where, when they went, what they were interested in, etc. So follow-up stuff can follow. And face recognition, we do have it very high accuracy. As I said, there are a number of them in the market, I know, but what is different from what we provide is the highest accuracy, at least from my experience. And speed 2 can work on the crowd, on people passing by, etc. Not only for small scale access control cameras, but also on this such an event like venues with several thousand people entering and exit. And Face as a Ticket, very straightforward. You have the app, you register using, you just take a photo of yourself, actually 3 photos, enter the data, you pass the validation, maybe pay for the ticket if it's needed, and then that's it. You can even leave your mobile at home. You just enter using, well, the most important ticket you have all your life, your face. And the app is there. You can even give it a try, I think. No hassle, no problem. And I will actually show you, what it allows you. You can always also envision and imagine what it will allow, where will be the speeding up part. I will just show you a small commercial.
Hello and welcome to the 3rd annual Defense Exhibition located here in Hamalit, Armenia. I want to show you how Scylla's new Face as a Ticket automates the process of checking in for the show. So follow me, let's take a look. People attending the show download an app, take 3 simple photos of themselves and enroll themselves in the show. Upon arriving at the complex or the venue, Scylla immediately, within seconds, will understand that the person has arrived, check them in, and they can proceed to the show. We're utilizing existing cameras at the venue. You don't need to buy any hardware. Scylla, as always, has been agnostic to any type of camera hardware, and it'll alert personnel when a person has arrived that is not enrolled, and that person would have to go and check into the show, buy their ticket. It's just a time-consuming process. So Scylla's Face as a Ticket speeds up the operations. You can go in there and enjoy the show. Nobody wants to stand in line for half an hour.
So that's about it. More solutions will be coming, definitely. More collaborations will be coming across the industry. And as for now, just some let's say zipped in a list of some customers and the integrations that we do have, and Scylla also was featured in a number of news agencies, etc. With this, I hope I didn't exceed the time.
Hey, Ara, we have some questions. Yeah, we have some questions about face recognition and the lithium battery detections and also the edge computing. How about we can like answer some of the questions before we move to the next part?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let me, I see some of the questions typed in. I will be answering them briefly. Person search, we need a special requirement. For person search, at the moment, what we do, it is based on appearance, so we have to upload the photo. Very soon we will roll out feature-based where you can describe the person based on whatever features, the color or describe the clothing, and this person search will kick in. But at the moment, any photo of the same appearance, of course, from the same day or something. And person search right now is used together with other modules that we are providing. For example, loitering detection. A person throws something and passes. This is being used in person search. This thing is forwarded automatically to person search, and this person is being recognized on the exit from the park and being fined, etc. Similarly, gun detection. A person with a gun has been detected. The appearance is forwarded to person search module, which looks for the same person on all the cameras. But one of the most important uses is the child search. That's missing child search. That's what we called. It's installed in Chicago Cubs stadiums. And yeah, exactly. There's a camera. Everyone is bound to pass through this camera. And then the mother comes and says, okay, my child is missing. When did you enter? I entered at this time. They find the kid. That particular appearance is used on 270 something cameras simultaneously to search for the missing child. Object minimum height and other factors, pixels. Of course, it should be distinguishable from others. Otherwise, you get many false positive. If you can afford, no problem. Take a person 50 pixels height and provide. So there will be more false positives compared to if you give 120 pixels height of a person. So it's all about statistics and all about, let's say, common sense thingy. The minimum I would suggest is around 40, 50 pixels. Less than that, as an even human being or whoever, you cannot distinguish two people standing next to each other unless it's very unique color or something. With the mask on, again, depends a little bit on how face recognition, I assume the question is. It will work, definitely, but there you go. There's a requirement that this can be used mostly for access control because, yes, a person should be relatively close to the camera and the look should be relatively towards the camera. So unless you have a camera right next to your door where all people are bound to pass through, then if that is the case, you can use it for BOLO too. And BOLO is, like you have a list of people you want to detect. But for access control, you can use it for the mask too. It works no problem. Okay. Hardware cost for the edge computing. Edge computing, consider not only the hardware cost here. I would outline still two much more important factors. One of them is network traffic, network unavailability. You still have to stream all of these streams to the cloud, and not necessarily you have the ability in this particular place. And the second, somewhat privacy/security. Some customers do not like the idea. I mean, yeah, cloud is there for a long time now, and people get used to it, but gradually. People who are making decisions, yet at the moment, they are not very ready, not always ready to deploy it to the cloud. It will be there, definitely. Everyone will be at cloud, that's it. But at the moment, edge means things are kept in your premises. For the hardware, depends on what module you will be using. And imagine if it's a cloud, you are bound to pay monthly. If it's an edge, you pay once, you have it in your premises. So there you go. Difference of the cost is a little bit spread.
Yeah, I would say that's more like the options of architecture for edge computing or cloud. It doesn't necessarily always edge is lower cost, but it could be much more friendly or with the flexibility for the user and SI to decide like the most optimum architecture for my case. Yeah.
Exactly. Next one, lithium battery overheating. A heat sensor is the camera, thermal camera for the solution. Again, there are a number of cameras we are supporting, and yeah, usually dual lens or single lens can work, but dual lens is usually a little bit more friendly because yes, you can afford having these rules, a human or a car, etc. On top of that general temperature measurement, you can have additional analytics for some specific case. But yeah, the distance depends on the camera specs and exactly what you want to measure. We had a thermal screening for human being screening of the skin temperature related to pandemics, etc. There are cameras that operate at 3 meters, 5 meters, 7 meters, and even some claim to 11 or 13 meters, but then the accuracy a bit is deteriorating. But that's human being. As for overheating or fire detection, etc., again, I'm afraid that the answer is not distinct. It depends on the camera brand, camera type, and the specifics. Can be as far as 50 meters, can be even maybe further for the fire, depends on the threshold, what you expect. Okay. So
hey, Ara, sorry to interrupt again. So I see we have a lot of good questions coming in. So how about we do this way? That I will continue to present the NX PAR, and before the live demo sessions, if you got a chance, can you reply some of the questions by writing to our attendees during my part, and then we can get back to that because I don't want to miss the live demo sessions. Yeah, so let's continue the presentation with live demo.
Good.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. So let's yeah, thank you very much, Ara. So it's really happy to know that while we are browsing through the attendee list, we noticed that there are many new friends that we're not familiar with from the APAC region. So we are really happy that we have new partners join this webinar. So just to give you a very brief idea about Network Optix. So we are a software company. The headquarters is in USA, California, and we are focusing on one thing: to develop a fantastic video platform for IP video management. Yeah, so since the first product was sold in 2013, we have actually, together with our partner, sold our VMS licenses to more than 130 countries. So right now, for those numbers we know, there are already more than 3 million IP devices connected to our VMSs. There, of course, will be more that we didn't aware of. So we consider our product, our software is a VMS, and is also a platform to build a VSaaS business model. And like the experiences with Scylla, our software is also an ecosystem. Yeah. Let's move to the next page, please. Yeah, just very brief about the company. The company was funded back in 2010, and at 2013, we have the first release of our VMS product, NX Witness. And you can see from 2016 until this year, every year we have at least one major release and several patch release. Like right now, we are offering monthly updates actually. So we're enhancing the software, enhancing the cybersecurity, adding more integrations, and of course, adding more functions and fix some minor bugs. So like you can see, like every year there's one version, tens of versions like every year. So the software has been enhanced a lot since 2013. Yeah, and one of the milestone we have made is that back in 2016, the company was nominated as the 7th fastest growing software company in the America. And actually until this year, 6th straight year, our company are always listed on the Inc. 5000 fast growing company. So our team are spread across different regions. Sorry, we need to move back a little bit. Yeah, Our teams are spread across in different regions, including headquarters in California, like me and Andy. We are from the Taipei office. So we are taking care of businesses in the APAC region, from Northeast Asia to Southeast Asia to South Asia, and also the Great China regions. And we also have several offices or colleagues from different cities in APAC, including Vietnam, Indonesia. We have colleagues from Australia. We have an office in Russia. Also, several team members, they're based in Netherlands, France, UK, Ukraine, and Bogota, Colombia. Yeah. Next page, please. Thank you. So just to give you a very brief ideas about our core philosophy when we develop the product, and later on I will use 3 slides to give you more detailed information. So when we are developing the VMS software, we believe the software should be instant usable from download, install, configuration, and the learning curve should be very short for operator, for the on-site security guard. The software has to be very easy to use. Yeah, and well, although we developed the product like 10 years ago, and there's no concept of IoT back then, right? But today we know IoT, video surveillance, AI, they're all connected. So our software is a highly cross-platform. We support almost all the modern operating system, different kind of hardware architecture. We also make the software very lightweighted. We believe that's the key to develop a VMS platform like that. And the last philosophy we have is the VMS platform needs to be developer friendly, so that like genius from different industry can use our developer tool to develop a vertical driven solutions for their own users' needs. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the first things I like to share here is that, would you please click on the left key? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, the first things about instant usability. So in general, if you download our software, install our software, it won't take more than 2 minutes. There's no prerequisite software that is required. It's just like installing the WhatsApp computer version on your laptop. It's that easy, right? You don't need to hire a professional service or have someone dedicatedly to learn how to install the software. And once you install the software, the interesting part will start. We will auto discover the compatible devices and hardware, including USB camera, IP camera, video encoder, or DVR or MVRs. And the clients can start connect their system to NX Cloud, a very secure cloud service we offer based on AWS. So you can connect to your cloud account and then take a look at your connected servers and systems with your mobile phone or laptop from anywhere without configuring like port forwarding or set up DNS address for that. Yeah. And to update the software, we also make it very simple, very easy. No matter how many servers are there in your system, it could be a multi-server type of project like bank or retail. You only need to click one button to upgrade the whole system. The server application, the client application will be all updated with single click of the update button. Yeah. Next page, please. And as well, please click the left key. Yeah. Thank you. So the second thing we talked about before is the cross-platform and lightweight. So our VMS is compatible with the world's most commonly used operating systems, and for both of the architecture, no matter it's x86 or it's ARM. So I can say we are the only VMS in the market that supports Windows, different flavor of Linux, Mac OS, Android, iOS, and also Raspbian, Bananian. These like a modern operating system that's across x86 hardware architecture or ARM architecture. For example, like Raspberry Pi, they have 32-bit version, 64-bit version, right? And NVIDIA, they have introduced a very powerful ARM computer for edge computing, the JESM series with several models. So our partners can run full feature client and server applications on a NVIDIA or Raspberry Pi ARM architecture computer to use the full function of the VMS. And we mainly using CPU, so our server doesn't require any GPU at all. Our client application only utilized the embedded GPU of an Intel computer that is powered by QuickSync to speed up the decoding capability. So it works really efficiently. For example, if you have 128 dual string cameras, you only require a single core of i3 CPU. Yeah, so we can leave the computing power for AI that is running on the same server or edge computer together with our VMS applications. Yeah. Next page, please. Yeah, the last things I'd like to share here today is that, would you please click the left key? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So the last things I'd like to share here is the extensibility of our VMS. We offer different kind of developer tool, including server API, a REST-based server API. We are going to introduce a client API based on JavaScript with the v5.0 version. We also have metadata SDK, a C++ SDK for analytics type of integration. This is the tool the Scylla team has been using to develop a highly integrated video analytics solution with our software. We also have a video source SDK for developers or vendor who manufacture proprietary non-standard IP video devices. You can use our video source SDK to integrate your products to our VMS software. And we have storage SDK as well. So if you are a developer who are offering non-standard storage solutions, then you can use our storage SDK to make your storage solution to work with our VMS. So right now, there are so many interesting use cases has been built based on different type of our integration tool. Of course, for security surveillance, we have partnered doing smart factories in APAC in North America. We have carrier partner from the ANZ region integrating their carrier solutions with our VMS. Retail analytics is very popular. In the North European region, we have partner using our VMS to integrate with their wildlife research like projects. Yeah, we have partner from Singapore that are building autonomous robotics and put our VMS inside the robot to create an autonomous robot patrol systems. And other interesting things like partners in the USA, they are putting our VMS to capture the rocket engine testing process. One of them, they're even testing to streaming the video from an electric car from the space back to the Earth. So you can see with our developer tool, we can build a lot of interesting use cases above the security surveillance. Yeah. Next page, please. So last things I like to share here with you guys is just before we jump into the how Scylla NX work together, this is just a basic framework about how our integration tool. Basically, you can see the third-party technology can develop a plugin with NX so that we can use our SDK to get the frames from the server. Once the technology inference the data, you can return the data, return the events, ask the VMS to do certain VMS actions, or you can even do plugin setting with that. We have all these documents well written on our website, at our partner portal, and they're also available at GitHub for anyone who wants to make interesting integrations with us. Yeah. So later on, Ara will be back on the stage and share with us how Scylla make the integration and to demo, the live demo to show how our solutions work together. Back to you, Ara.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the details. And yeah,
my pleasure. Yeah,
I went through all of it. Very nice. And I wasn't actually. Yeah, I did a good job on my side. Answered quite a few questions. I hope those of you who got answers are satisfied. If not, then please do not hesitate to contact us. Especially, I would ask the guys who have questions related to licensing and purchasing and all this, let's say, relatively organizational parts, how the collaboration can be formed, etc., etc. Please contact us on the website, fill the form, and you will be contacted by local representative. It will take some while to explain you how this whole thing works from the, you know, like the sales perspective, etc., etc. So I will answer mainly the technical questions on that side. As for the integration, this is what exactly right now is done at the moment. Very soon we will have all the other modules integrated seamlessly, and most of the changes since the last introduction, since the last webinar, actually they are not quite visible, because what was done is the performance of the plugin was optimized. Now it's multi-thread, it requires much less power, I would say, consumes less power. And previously that was kind of a limit, because sending back and forth this video chunks and all this information on the dashboard, etc., there was a bottleneck. I mean, it still worked, but it needed much harder hardware, and we definitely didn't want to impose that, because as you heard, one of the main benefits that Network Optix has is very low expectations on hardware. So we didn't want to come and say, okay, well, that's nice, you have this PC, now buy 5 more so you can run this plugin. So a lot of things were optimized in that respect, and now this plugin is kind of subtle thing, you wouldn't even see it operating. And that was most of the efforts spent on, where the most efforts spent on. But not only that, but also we connected. Now the plugin is much more friendlier with our cloud instances, and the integration now is much more. It's seamless, much more. I will show you on the demo. Just might be very minor things, but they also can show you that
Hello?
Or is it frozen, right?
Yeah, I was
let's
just
give him a couple of
checking.
minutes.
Sure. Yeah, when the first time I saw Scylla's integration, that was very interesting.
sorry.
Ara's back.
Yeah, sorry.
problem.
Something technical.
You're back.
There you go. Okay, I'm back, and you should see now the video. Do you see a background?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
we're
the
watching the
video?
video now.
Of the installation, right?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Good. So yeah, it's really fast and easy to install the plugin. I will even, it's kind of boring, so in a way I will skip it. Of course, it's an effort of the dedicated integration team. So this whole thing is very, let's say, relatively straightforward. Basically, you install the plugin, you open it, and then you fill some credentials, the tokens that, well, let's say you paid for some service, and there you get this token. And then what happens is that you install this, go to, and then you have this operational. Now, this is an example of the intrusion detection. Yeah, this is just a reminder to not forget to activate the recording and the fact that the motion detection is done by NX Optix, and we rely on that. And the motion should be detected by the Network Optix and then sent to the server, Scylla server, to do the on-top analytics. What on-top analytics will do, it will detect a person or a vehicle, and then you will have the alert forwarded to your dashboard in case there is a person detected. And similarly, you will get, I want to highlight this quite separate. Just a second, let me pause it. Similarly, you will get the rejected videos too if you want to take a look and see if the analytics was fine and if you're satisfied with the accuracies. And all of our clients are usually, especially if you have any experience. So just to outline, I am giving the example of integration on a very well-known direction. It's called false alarm filtering. So you do have a system running there which detects motion, and you get number of alerts based on motion. Usually it's much more than you would want to get because anything can trigger light flickering leaves for outdoor cameras, etc., etc. So usually you end up having thousands of alerts. Basically, what Scylla will offer is that it will induce additional AI analytics, smart analytics on top of the alert, and you will get filtered alerts, which is actually what you want to get. And this particular thing is an example of the integration. Basically, you open, as you can see, you open the Scylla dashboard, you outline the active area, and this active area is then forwarded to Network Optix, back to Network Optix. So instead of doing this back and forth, you can have one dashboard to set it up, all of the cameras, set them up, and including the shadow, and then the whole information will be forwarded to Network Optix, and the alerts will be coming only in case there's a person in the doorway in a particular shadow. It was possible. This is an example of actually rejected alert. So there's a motion. Usually you would have this on your dashboard, but with Scylla you get it only in rejected sections. There you go. Rejected. And you get this particular movement only in the rejected section. So again, this is an example of a usage of the analytics together with Network Optix. General, and especially this is the doorway towards every other type of analytics. There's a generic event, actually it will be generic alert and generic analytics. And this thing will allow us and allows us already for example, gun detection, as you saw, face recognition. So all of this is already integrated, and any other solution that we already provide will be similarly soon, very soon, will be similarly integrated. So you do have both-way integration. Not only we get the material to analyze from Network Optix, whether it will be a chunk of the video or a camera feed or etc., but also we use the settings that we otherwise had to go and set up manually and then somehow conjugate.
Are you still there?
He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay.
What part did you miss? I'm sorry. What part did you miss?
Yeah. From several guys walking out of the door. Yeah.
Okay. Wait a sec. Okay. Well, basically, I think that's about it for the demonstration. Pretty much. Yeah, we'll go back to the slides, and yeah, that's pretty much for the demonstration. The only thing I would add on top of that, the plugin currently has this doorway of forwarding the alerts, getting the settings from the Scylla. So it's like it's a doorway of much more intelligent and much more capable doorway for the conjugation. So we are definitely working on this, on making this integration much more. It will cover ideally and soon enough, it will cover all the ranges. But of course, it also depends on projects that we anticipate. If there will be some kind of customer who will be interested in some particular project and there will be anything missing, we will definitely forward that and we will put that on the top of the backlog, and we will pay our prime attention to that. So it also develops, it depends on how our integration will develop. That's it. I think we're at the end of the hour. So yeah, giving out.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Ara. Yeah, so like a very exciting news. In very early Q3, we are going to release the new 5.0 version, and at the same time, the Scylla team is working on the integrations with the 5.0 because we provide an even more comprehensive developer tool to make the video analytics software to work with our VMS with a much better UI, I would say. Yeah, so Ara, would you mind go to next page, please? Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of updates in this major release. So 5.0 is a full feature release that is targeted for cybersecurity, enhanced usability of existing features, and there will be more admin capabilities and developer tools for integration, like the metadata SDK I just mentioned and the new client JavaScript API integrations. Yeah, so very soon we're going to have another one or even more webinars, like together with Scylla, to share what's new with the NXV 5.0 and also what can be achieved with the new integrations. Yeah. So just to give you a very quick view, would you go to the next page, please? Yeah, so it's a very familiar interface, but we're adding something more based on the interface. So before, when we are looking for the object, we have to key in the metadata to use the drop-down list to find certain metadata. And right now, with 5.0, we will have a new interface called Advanced Object Search. So it depends on the integration, depends on what kind of algorithm it is. The partner, the AI partner like Scylla, they can customize the list right here for the object they're interested in. If you open up the main objects, there will be sub attributes under that object. So user can just click and select and then mix match with the keyword search to find out the required video or metadata much faster. Yeah, so this is just one of the things from 5.0 we are going to show. And in a very short time, we will arrange another sessions to share with everybody about the new features and the new integrations with Scylla. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
then.
that's great. So
yeah. We've been 2 minutes past the time, so we will finalize it now. For the question and answers, I think I have some minor ones left. I will do my best to go briefly over all of them and be done.
Yeah.
How to count to experience? So, yes. Okay, sorry. You lost me again.
Pardon? Lost you for a while, like some seconds.
Yeah, now sorry. You're back.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry about this. It was all fine. Anyway, so quickly 3-4 questions, and I'm done with the questions. So can we detect different backpacks and items if some has kept in the back? We don't detect anything we don't see, so we have to see.
Well, it's good to have a lot of questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So before Ara is back, I'd like to remind everybody that Anastasia has already posted a link on the chat room. So if your questions are not answered or you figure out some of the other questions, please feel free to write your questions to this link, and Scylla team will share with me and Andy, and we will get back to you as soon as possible once we got the questions from you, okay? And one of the partner was asking about, we used to have a demo system and where is that? So yeah, like we said, we are moving to a new Taipei office. We are having another new office in USA in North California. So we are updating the demo systems with the newer versions. So we hope it will be done very soon, and we will share the demo system with you guys again with more cameras, with a better viewing angle for you to demo to your users or partners. Yeah.
I think Ara's back, right?
Yes, yeah, I am. I heard you answering the questions. Sorry, I'm afraid to start to answer anything because the answer will be left from the middle. But I was answering in a written form, so I'm almost done.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's about it. Yeah, let's summarize. It's been an absolute pleasure as usual already. So we will see each other in a few months, I think.
Exactly.
As soon as we collect critical mass of changes and news. And hopefully the integration with 5.0 on the next meeting will be announced also.
Yeah, that will be great. That will be great. Thank you so much, Ara. Thanks a lot, Anastasia. Thanks everyone for joining the webinar today.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye, guys.
Take care, everyone. Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you soon.